Olivia Attwood is back with Bad Boyfriend Season 2, and this is the recap of Episode 1. If you watch Season 1, this is the same format. The boyfriends think they're going on a show called Hot Shots with David Potts, where they've got to show that they're like the biggest party animal. The boys are split into two villas, and the girls are told that they're going to go and spy on the other girls' boyfriends. So David Potts tells them they're going out to the Strip, and they've got to get as many people into the clubs as possible. Now keep in mind that the men are fully aware they're being filmed. They already know they're on a TV show, they just don't know what one. They already know that when they get home, their girlfriends are going to be watching this show. But that doesn't stop them. We have Veronica and Cheney. She says he's a semi-professional footballer, he pays for everything and she really likes that, but they argue all the time and he speaks to her like crap. Daniela and Akon. She's not happy that he's a stripper and she's seen women like grab his bits and stuff like that. But it gets really interesting when she says he does privates and he goes to people's houses and dances for them. Very interesting. But at the very, very start of the episode, she says he's slept with over 1,000 women and he's cheated on everybody that he's ever been with. Now, I'm not one for judging how many people somebody's slept with, right? But I could maybe think, 100, aye, okay, that's quite excessive. 1,000? You'll be fucking hoaching. Maya and Joe, she says, we've got our own language, we really understand each other, but he's the worst party boy, he goes missing for days. Olivia says, do you think he's cheated on you? And she says, definitely. Shay and Miles, I think they've been together for 5 years, and she wants to settle down, she wants to get married and plan on having kids. And he doesn't really seem to be into it. Ellie and Dan. He cheats on her constantly and she lets him away with it. There comes a point in a relationship where you think, aye, okay, he's a cheating skis bag cunt, but if you're going to let him away with it and do nothing, then they're both the problem. Anthony and Dylan, he lives with his parents, he lets them do everything for him. Apparently they run his bath, like they literally do every single thing for him. He wants to move out and he says he's just like a man-child. Jacinta and Italo have been together for a few years and he's cheated on her multiple times and she just doesn't trust him. Again, if you let somebody away with this behaviour and they keep doing it, what do you really expect? Izzy and Max, they two were best friends for years and they've been together I think for just over a year, and she says that he keeps going to Thailand with the boys, and I think in the space of like a year he's been on 4 trips to Thailand. And she's saying, I know what he used to get up to in Thailand and he's still going there, so why doesn't he keep going there when he's got a girlfriend now? Now, personally, if I had a best friend who I thought was hot and he was going away to Thailand and doing the things that they're insinuating he's going there for, I wouldn't even want to go out with him to start off with. It would be absolutely fucking hoaching. The girls split up into the separate villas to spy on the boys, and they ask him if he's got a girlfriend and he says, yeah, we've been together for this amount of years, best years of my life, right? Couldn't be any nicer about her. Dan flat out says he's single. Keep him in mind that he knows that she's going to be watching this show. He does not give a fuck about her. Not one single fuck. I can't remember what one's Anthony and what one's Dylan, but basically he's the bad boyfriend and his boyfriend is saying he's not very comfortable with sexuality. He still tells people that he's bi. When he's with other men, he acts really masculine. Like, I used to go out with a guy who was bi, and I wouldn't say he was feminine in any way, but when he was in the company of other men, he used to try and act more masculine for some reason, and he used to pretend that he liked football. And he'd go, alright mate, what's the score? And I'd say, why are you pretending to give a fuck about football? Why are you calling people mate? It was bizarre. Italo was talking to one of the other girls and she was purposely flirting with him to see how far he would take it. And she's saying, oh, do you like my thigh tattoo? It goes all the way up. And he's like, oh yeah, I really like it. And she says, oh, I take it you're single. And he says, oh, who says, why are you assuming that, right? Now, he was being really flirty and he says to the girl, oh, I like you, just know I like you, or whatever. And it was very overly flirtatious. Ellie walks into the villa with Max and she says, oh, the way he was looking at me was like, wow, I'm going to see how far I can take this and see what happens. And at the time I was thinking, is she forgetting that she's there to spy? She's acting as if she's on Love Island. But I think she was just shocked at how obvious he was being. So they get sent out to see how many people they can get into the clubs. And Dan is blatantly kissing women on the strip. The other girls are like, oh my god, he's actually like getting off with these girls right in front of us. I'm thinking, oh my god, he's blatantly getting off with the girls in front of a camera when he knows that she's going to be watching. At the very start of the show, she was talking about how often he's cheated and how he's a dick. In her words, he's a dick. And Olivia says, why do you keep him around? And she says, oh, we've got a good connection, we've been through a lot with our family. I do not give one fuck how much you've been through with somebody. If somebody is going to not only cheat on you, but act as if you don't even exist, and then do what he does in episode 2, he needs to go. He just fucking needs to go. Not to mention the fact that she says, he shagged my best friend. So I don't understand why she's got him on a TV show trying to get him to change, and she's not at her and her best friend's funeral. I need to know if she's still friends with this person. I can only imagine what my reaction would be if I found out my boyfriend not only had sex with a random person out, but my best friend. R.I.P. When the girls were talking to him in the other villa, he was saying, oh, I'm bisexual. And the girls were like, oh my god, like he was saying that he does this. But do you know what? Maybe he is bisexual. Just because he's got a boyfriend doesn't mean he say that in himself he doesn't feel bisexual. Do you know what I mean? Like, who are we to really know? I understand why it's hurting his feelings though, because it's making him feel like he's not good enough. And for some reason, he's trying to justify liking men by saying, oh, but I like both. It's alright, I like both. Like, I'm not totally gay. As if there's something wrong with being gay. The most confusing thing about this show for me is why the fuck is somebody who looks like this going with somebody who looks like this? And I know it's not all about looks, and I don't normally comment on what people look like, but it doesn't make sense. It would possibly make sense if she says, do you know what? He's got a massive dick. He's amazing in bed. Oh my god, he blows my mind, like he treats me like a princess. But he doesn't, he fucks off to Thailand. Constantly. I'm very confused. Jacinta made it clear from the start. He blows her mind in bed, he's the best she's ever had. But he's cheating on her. She says, oh, we've got a really like good sexual connection. Good sexual chemistry. He's obviously got that with a lot of people. I've got to give it to the producers of this show, because when they're picking these couples, it's clear that they don't just look for somebody who's a bad boyfriend. They look for somebody who's a bad boyfriend who's got a stunning girlfriend when they're mediocre or less. Just to rile people up more. Because it works with me. Imagine she was your pal, right, in work, and she's like, oh my god, I love my boyfriend, he's so great, and she went on about him all the time, and then you went on a night out, and he walked into the pub, and you look behind him and go, oh, is he coming in behind that guy? And she's saying, no, it's him. Alright. Cool. But anyway, that was the end of episode 1. Let me know if you watched it. It's on itvx if you want to catch up. And I'm just about to make my video for episode 2. Bye!